Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Gordon Xavier here today to support you in your evolutionary journey. What I want to share with you today revolves around the idea, the topic, the practice of fasting. Fasting has been something in my life that has had profound positive effects on my consciousness and on my body, my spirituality, my emotions. Fasting is one of my favorite tools to support me in my process of self-realization. And so I want to talk about all the benefits today. That I'm just gonna go on a riff and just like flow and share with you what I've learned from fasting, and maybe this will be encouraging for you to pick it up as a tool in your arsenal for expansion, for growth, for healing in your life. Fasting for me has been an extraordinarily healing tool. And so I'm going to talk about several different ways by which I've come to relate to a fasting lifestyle, a fasted lifestyle. And so first things first is emotionally. That's where it all starts for me with fasting. I find myself to be an emotional human being, meaning I have tons of energy inside of me in motion. Right? I'm an emotional person. There's tons of like energy inside of me. I feel like I'm walking around like a Super Saiyan 3, like the majority of the time. And it can be challenging to guide all of that chi and that prana. And so one thing that I'll do to bring my energy levels down so that I can like function or to feel comfortable is I'll eat. Right? I find that eating food grounds me in some cases and slows me down. And when I begin to get out of alignment with a healthy diet and routine and regimen, I'll find myself just emotionally eating. I'm just eating shit. I'm eating like chips and like freaking like all types of treats and pop, like little bakery, like gourmet bakery Pop-Tarts at the coffee shop. I'll go in. I'll enjoy some bullshit, right? I'll eat tons of it. And this will like slow my emotions down so that I can right? Because I'll find that sometimes it's hard to manage all this energy and emotion. And so what fasting does is it's a time that I can dedicate to removing that crutch out of my life. And it forces me to be with my energy. It forces me to develop a relationship with these energies in motion, with all these emotions. I may feel anger, sadness, resentment, frustration, laziness, all types of things, confusion. I may feel these energies arise during a fast. Typically on the first couple of days, a lot of these emotions and energies start rising. And so, because now I can't use the food as a crutch, right? I can't use it as a coping mechanism to deal with my life, right? Like fasting is a great way for me to get in touch with the emotions inside of me that are oftentimes a very powerful indicator as to what needs to happen in my life. What do I need to address? Where do I need to become more authentic? What do I need to get more aligned? What thing from the past am I still holding on to that I need to release? Fasting gives me the opportunity to get in touch with those emotions, which gets me in touch with what my soul needs for nourishment, what changes it needs so that it can expand. So that's the first thing that fasting does for me, is it helps me attune myself and align myself emotionally. And it's a challenge, let me tell you. It can be emotional. It can be like, it's not a fun, not necessarily like a fun way of attuning, but around day 3, I typically will go 3 to 4 days. I'm attempting now to go on a 5-day fast, which is going to be the longest I've ever done, and I'm feeling that it's going to be challenging for me because I love to cope with food. If I'm stressed or if I'm busy or if I'm working, I love some food to relax with or to celebrate with, whatever. So it's gonna be challenging for me, but I find that around the third day it gets a lot easier, and I begin to step more into a space in which my consciousness is clear, my energies have stabilized, and I'm alert and present. So that's the first thing, fasting. That's the first benefit I've noticed for fasting is it helps me get in touch with my emotions and align my reality with higher vibrational emotions. The second benefit I've noticed to fasting, especially prolonged periods of time, is my body morphs quickly. Like, I mean, if you're looking to lose weight, I believe there's no better way than to simply stop eating. And not from a place of like sickness, not from a place of like punishing yourself, but from a place of like redirecting. It's BS. It's conditioned BS that we have to eat constantly the way we've to eat and consume the way we've been taught to consume. That's BS. It's belief system, and it's not true, right? What I found was my body gets, when I fast, it gets the opportunity to do deep healing work. The cells get to energy in my body gets to relocate itself towards healing and vitality as opposed to digesting food, right? And all this fat around my gut, that is stored food. That's food, right? That the body will eat that. That's what it is. It's stored calories and energy. The body will eat that. There's stuff in there that the body could consume, right? And so I found that just to get my body recalibrated, to get my body in alignment with enlightenment, inner lightness, right? To be internally light, to get my body in alignment with enlightenment. Fasting is a powerful tool and has greatly been of service to me. I just get to I get to clear out the gut. I get to get rid of some excess body fat that's not serving me. Letting it look good at the end, right? And my skin becomes clearer. I notice that the body just gets to redirect energy and attention, and you see the thing about food, people would get afraid of fasting because it's they'll think they're gonna die. But the thing is, food is just a physical manifestation of source energy. Fruits, vegetables, all that stuff is just a physical manifestation of source energy. And different foods are different qualities and grades of that source energy, different densities of that source energy, but food nonetheless is just simply source energy. And so while on a fast, you get the opportunity of not depending on the physical world around us to acquire that source energy, but instead now I can just, with my consciousness, with my emotions, with my intention, with my awareness, I can turn to the sun, I can turn to God, I can turn to divinity, the Most High, and nourish myself that way. Go directly to source energy, that non-physical nourishing element that gives birth to the sun and to light and to water and to grass and to food, that non-physical element that's growing the grass, that's beating your heart. There's a non-physical presence that's nourishing everything in existence. And so if in fasting, if I'm able to put down the belief that food is my number one primary source to be sustained and nourished by source energy, when I put that down, I can create and develop a direct relationship, which is highly potent and powerful. So that's another thing fasting has done for me. And lastly, so this won't be too long of a video, lastly, I've noticed simply fasting has given me clarity. I'm clear, right? My energy is not, once again, not tied up in digesting food. And in that time frame where my body's not utilizing energy to digest food, that energy is now, that consciousness is now being used to heal, to do some cleanup maintenance inside of the gut and the stomach and in the bloodstream and in the brain. The body will naturally detoxify itself if it's allotted energy to do so. But we're constantly bombarding the body with food, and so therefore it doesn't have any energy. We're not giving it the proper amount. It doesn't have free energy, free space to work with. And so once this detoxification happens from fasting, once the clearing has happened, and once I've made it over these humps, I found that my mind is still and clear, and I'm not being pestered by the vibration of need, right? Like when I get hungry, oftentimes that's like intertwined with the vibration of need. I need this, I need that, I need food, I need to eat, I need water, I need attention, I need friends, I need something to do, I need views, I need money, I feed. And so fasting cuts off the feeding. And by cutting off the feeding, I get to distance myself from the needing. And by distancing myself from the needing, what naturally happens is stillness and silence and clarity and peace. So that's the final benefit I've seen from fasting. And I pray that this information supports you and serves you in the highest good. And if it has, be sure to leave a comment, share with us some of the benefits you've experienced from fasting. Leave a like, let me know that it was valuable to you. And if you would like to connect more, feel free to go to my website or the link in the description box to book a call with me and we can connect. So until next time, much love. Thank you for connecting with me. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.